Do you feel like you have a ticking clock on your home and your investment? If you're a leaseholder, that ticking clock is your lease. And today we're diving into how to hit the snooze button, protect your most valuable asset. Hey everyone, it's Josh here from Short Lease Property Sales. We are the estate agency specializing in flats with short leases. Welcome back to the channel. If you own a leasehold property or you're thinking of buying one, then understanding lease extensions isn't just important, it's absolutely crucial, especially if you've got a flat with a short lease. It's not a one-size-fits-all scenario, and knowing your options can save you a ton of stress, time, money, and make your ownership a lot smoother. Today, we're breaking down the two main types of lease extensions that you need to know about. First up, let's talk about the formal lease extension, also known as the statutory route. This is your legal right granted by the Leasehold Reform, Housing and Urban Development Act of 1993. It's the big one. It offers you a significant addition to your lease automatically. So, what does this get you? If you qualify, your freeholder must grant you an additional 90 years on top of your existing unexpired lease term. And it also comes with it your ground rent reducing to a peppercorn. That effectively means zero ground rent. However, like all legal rights, there are some hoops to jump through. There's a formal process involving notices and valuations, which can be quite technical, can be self-guided, but it usually means instructing solicitors and a specialist valuer or talking with an expert along the way. It can take time, sometimes 6 to 12 months, possibly longer if it goes to tribunal. And in some cases, it can be shorter, but there is a set rigidity of how long it's going to take. And yes, of course, it comes with costs. You need to pay your own professional fees, plus you'll currently be responsible for your freeholder's reasonable legal and valuation costs as well. So who qualifies for this golden ticket? You must be a qualifying tenant. That means typically holding a lease of at least 21 years when it was originally granted, that lease being on residential property, not a business premises. And if you want that 90 years, the property needs to be a flat rather than a house. If you tick these boxes, you're on the right track. They are available for houses as well, but you get a shorter term rather than 90 years automatically. Now let's pivot into informal lease extension. This is also known as the negotiated route. As the name suggests, this is a privately negotiated agreement directly with your freeholder. It doesn't have a statutory process, but it does offer much more flexibility. You can negotiate on the length of the extension that you're going for. You can also negotiate on other elements of the lease more easily. Again, you're looking here to most likely get your ground rent extinguished entirely, going for that peppercorn ground rent ideally as well. The big advantage on this one is speed and simplicity. If you have a reasonable freeholder, and that's not always the case, but you might be lucky, you can often reach an agreement much quicker than going down that formal route because you don't have those set timescales. Potentially, you can avoid the need for those sort of legal notices and then ultimately avoid the need for any tribunal involvement as well, hopefully. This can mean lower professional fees too. You might find your freeholders' fees for a negotiated informal lease extension are lower than the statutory process, and the valuation fees may be different also. But, and this is a big but, the informal route can have its drawbacks too. Your freeholder, firstly, isn't legally obligated to grant you anything. They can simply refuse to extend the lease or offer terms that just aren't favourable to you. What you get is entirely at their discretion and your negotiation with them. So if your freeholder isn't willing to negotiate fairly, you might end up paying more than you would through the formal route. So there's a trade-off between speed and certainty of where you're going to end up. Lease extensions are never certain, but you have a slightly more certain route going down the statutory process. So how do you decide which path is right for you? If you're looking at the formal route, you might want to choose this if you want the absolute certainty of that additional 90 years and the peppercorn ground rent, and it's the safer, more robust option because you do have that structure and process, especially if your freeholder is unresponsive or difficult. The informal route, this could be a good option if you have a very cooperative freeholder and if you're looking for a quicker, potentially cheaper solution. Could also look at different lease terms, maybe a shorter extension as well. If you're selling at the same time as extending, then there can be some additional considerations. We can take you through these if that's your situation. If you want to discuss your specific circumstances with us, then please get in touch and we can look at both options for you. And remember, always getting independent legal and valuation advice is going to be helpful for you, even with an informal offer. Ultimately, understanding the two extension types is key to protecting your home and your investment and making the right decision. Don't leave it to chance. The cost of a lease extension only goes up as the lease term goes down. So acting sooner rather than later, if you have a short lease, is almost always beneficial. There may be some different views on that with the current reform that's going through. But if you're wanting to sell in the short term, then it's most likely going to be beneficial for you. Whether it's the formal or the informal route, getting expert advice is a non-negotiable. And that could be from a specialist estate agent, such as ourselves. It could be from a solicitor or a surveyor, depending on who you feel comfortable talking with. As experts, we can help you navigate sort of the complexities and ensure you get the best possible outcome along the way. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer all of them. Or if you just want to share your lease extension story. And subscribe to Short Lease Property Sales for more essential tips and advice on leasehold and short leases and what to do depending on various situations. If you have any questions, if you do want to talk through your specific circumstances, then we're always happy to have a chat. There's no obligation on anything. Then you can, as I said, drop them in the comments, or even better, visit the website, get in touch with the contact us form. That's shortleasepropertysales.co.uk. There's also more in-depth resources on there. You can contact the team directly as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.